Let's talk about one of the biggest stories happening in medicine right now, AI in healthcare. And it's really a story with two sides. On one hand, you've got this incredible revolution that's promising to make things way more efficient and find cures we've only dreamed of. But on the other hand, well, there's a reckoning, a whole bunch of really tough ethical and social challenges we have to face. So let's dive in. This quote really just hits the nail on the head. Healthcare systems all over the world are stretched so thin. They're dealing with tight budgets, not enough staff, just immense pressure. They're not just looking for something new and shiny, they are desperately in need of solutions. And to give you a sense of the scale here, get this. The World Health Organization thinks that by 2030, we're going to be short 10 million healthcare workers globally. I mean, that is a massive gap. And honestly, technology is one of the only things that can help fill it. All right, so let's start with the good stuff, the revolution. How can AI actually help fix this crisis? Well, the promise is huge, and it starts with one of the biggest problems in medicine today, burnout. So take a look at this. It shows you exactly what I'm talking about. Some doctors are spending as little as 15% of their time, 15, actually with patients. The rest of their day, it's just eaten up by this mountain of paperwork and admin tasks. That's not just inefficient, it's a huge driver of burnout, and that can lead to mistakes and put patients' safety at risk. So when we say AI, what are we really talking about here? Well, it's pretty simple. It's just a catch-all term for computer programs that can do things humans usually do, like learning from data, spotting patterns, or even writing up notes. The goal is to free up our human experts to do the work that only they can do. And that brings us to what is, for me, the most exciting part of this whole revolution, how AI is already giving us smarter ways to diagnose diseases and speeding up the hunt for new cures. Now, this is absolutely crucial to understand. The point of AI isn't to replace doctors, it's to give them superpowers. It's a tool that can sift through enormous amounts of information, like a medical scan, and find these tiny, subtle patterns that even a super experienced doctor might not catch. And believe me, this is not science fiction. This is happening right now. As of August 2024, the FDA in the US had already given the green light to over 950 medical devices that use AI. Things are moving incredibly fast. So what does this actually look like in a hospital or clinic? Well, you have AI helping radiologists find cancer earlier on scans. You've got tools like AlayaCare that use remote monitoring to predict when someone might have a health crisis, and one study showed it cut ER visits by an incredible 68%. There are even AI chatbots like Wysa offering mental health support anytime, day or night. And it's even helping us find new drugs for horrible illnesses faster than ever before. And right here, this is the cutting edge. For diseases like Parkinson's, AI can analyze ridiculously complex biological data at speeds no human could ever match. It's helping to fast-track these amazing new treatments, like this gene therapy that actually uses a harmless virus to deliver protective genes right where they need to go in the brain. Yeah, this is what the revolution looks like. Okay, but with all this incredible power, well, it forces us to stop and ask some really big, really tough questions. This is the other side of the story, the reckoning. We have to talk about the risks. First up, governance and liability. I mean, think about it. If an AI algorithm makes a mistake and it leads to a misdiagnosis, who's responsible? Is it the doctor who trusted it? The hospital that bought the software? The tech company that made it? Right now, the rules and the laws are way behind the technology. So how in the world do we build trust in these systems? Well, the experts are pointing to a few key things we absolutely have to get right. We need clear policies for using AI safely. Doctors and patients need to understand how these algorithms work, no more black boxes. We have to figure out who's liable before things go wrong, and of course, patients have to give their informed consent if AI is part of their care. The second huge question is all about data and bias. Here's the thing. An AI is only as good and only as fair as the data we train it on. So if our historical health data is full of inequalities and biases, the AI won't just learn them. It can actually make them worse. So we're really at a fork in the road here. On one path, if we're super careful and train AI on diverse, representative data, we could actually make healthcare more fair for everyone. But on the other path, if we're lazy and just feed it biased historical data, we risk building a system that literally hard codes discrimination based on a person's race, how much money they make, or even just their zip code. And that leads to this even bigger question of equity. Who's actually going to benefit from this AI revolution? And who is going to get left behind? This isn't just about the cool new tech. It's about who owns and controls the data that makes it all work. And making things fair means we have to tackle some really deep, long-standing problems. We're talking about respecting the right of indigenous communities to control their own health data. It means we have to actively root out structural racism from our data sets. And critically, it means we have to build these tools with different communities, not just build them for them and hope for the best. All right, next up is a question that honestly, most people don't even think about: the environmental cost. All this digital magic, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. It runs on huge physical data centers, and they have a pretty massive and growing environmental footprint. The energy demand is just wild. AI is incredibly power hungry, which means more carbon emissions. It needs all this computer hardware made from rare metals that are mined in really unsustainable ways, and it creates a ton of electronic waste. The energy demand is so high, in fact, that some of the big tech companies are now looking to nuclear power just to run their data centers. And the final big question is all about cybersecurity. We're talking about putting our most private, most sensitive health information into digital systems. So, how do we make sure that data is safe and protected from people who want to steal or misuse it?
The hard reality is, the more we connect our healthcare system, the more doors we open for attackers. All the experts agree that a major cyber attack isn't a question of if it will happen, but when, and we need to be ready for it.
So, after going through all those risks, where does that leave us? What's the path forward? Well, the real challenge is figuring out how we get all the revolutionary benefits of AI while dodging all the dangerous pitfalls.
I think this quote from one of the experts just says it all. The AI train has already left the station. The choice we have isn't whether we adopt this tech, it's how we adopt it. Sitting back and doing nothing isn't an option because these tools are coming, whether we're ready or not.
So here's the bottom line. AI has this incredible potential to solve some of the biggest problems we face in healthcare, from clinician burnout to finding cures for disease. But making that potential a reality, safely, ethically, and fairly for everyone, is going to take a lot of hard work. And that's the real question, isn't it? Are we ready to do that work to make sure this revolution truly benefits us all?